Second video of the day. I have had to move into my bedroom. It's the weekend and I've got my son with me. So hopefully this mic is blocking out a lot of the background sounds. He might even come in and disrupt us, but we're still going to get this out. Um, so yeah, it's kind of good to move spaces. This message is for my empaths. And I was getting ahead of myself. It was a few nights ago where I was actually struggling to not come up with a message. I was struggling to channel, and maybe I just wasn't in the right place to be able to give you a message just because of my own frustrations. But I had a message like this before, and I'm going to share it with you now. And I can feel the energy coming in. And just the fact that it's probably going to dive a lot more deeper than what I was doing before. Hi, baby. Yes, that's my son. So yeah, for my empaths, I was laying in bed a few nights ago and I was thinking about the fact that, like empaths are constantly having to protect themselves, constantly having to clear energy, and cleanse, of course. It's a constant thing. It's a necessity throughout life. And although we are very divinely protected, sometimes because we are the ones here operating in this physical realm, it is very important that you prioritize and really make it a part of your daily practices to do some type of cleansing ritual. And when I say ritual, it's a strong word for people who aren't really deep into, the culture of spirituality. But when I say ritual, I mean literally just daily habits that you can do to recenter into your own energy and not get it befuddled with others. So as an empath, I have spent most of my life feeling like other people's emotions were mine, feeling like other people's up and down turbulence was me being moody and feeling kind of like two-faced. And obviously I didn't know what schizophrenic meant, but you understand the gist of what I'm trying to say. I felt like me picking up on multiple people's emotions at once, that creating that turbulence within me, I internalized it and felt like, what is wrong? What is actually wrong? Why do I feel like this? It's no reason to feel this way. And I kept it as my own. And that's what I want to talk about because, and I'm sorry, I've got this balancing on my bed, so it might do a little jiggle as I'm moving around. But yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. The fact that empaths naturally take on responsibility for energies outside of themselves. Yeah. And I feel like we know that. Anybody who understands the empath knows that. But what I really wanted to touch up on was the fact that laying in bed thinking about this, I realized why. I was picking up on somebody else's, who I'm connected to. We're all connected, but then of course we have souls that we're more tied to in this lifetime for many reasons. We're not going to go deep into that. Let's keep this channel straight. But I'm connected to someone and I started to feel these emotions like in my chest, and I'm saying like, that's not, ugh. I started off thinking, why do I feel this way? Because that is the old cycle that starts with me. It's that acceptance of, okay, this is me. If I'm feeling this way, then this must be my own energy and it must be something wrong with me that I need to fix, or that needs self-awareness around it so I can let it pass. But because of the work that I've done, because of the time that I have spent to learn, because of the retraction of my energy from things and sources and people and circumstances outside of me, that was taking some of that power and was using some of that energy. Because I've retracted that and I've centered within my own essence, taking that time has been so beneficial, because the minute my mind started to surge around, why do I feel this way? Why would I feel this way? There's no reason to feel this way. As soon as my mind started the spiral, then myself, the self that I'm centered in, the very essence of who I am, answered with another question. And it was just like, is this even your energy? And as soon as I heard that question arise, the feeling dissipated. Do you know how freeing that is? I need to share that because I need you to understand this is what I'm trying to get to. It makes sense, and it's so valid that empaths will take on other people and their emotions as their responsibility. Because, for example, if me picking up on this person's energy, they're feeling shitty. If they're feeling shitty and then turn around and I start to feel shitty, then I feel like it's my responsibility, because they're feeling shitty and they don't have the awareness around that emotion and how to untangle it themselves. I then feel responsible, because not only am I an empath and I'm compassionate and understanding, and I would like to uplift this person, because I'm feeling the emotions myself, I feel responsible to cure the both of us. And that right there just kind of helped mend something in me, because I always felt wrong for doing so much and going so outside of myself for others. But that right there, that thought alone validated the fact that, like, it makes sense that you would take on that responsibility. It's affecting you as well. So it's like a double whammy. It's like two birds, one stone. We love that, don't we? We love hitting two birds with one stone. Not literally, but you get what I mean. So hopefully you're not picking up on the noise. Very sorry about that. But thinking of the fact that because it's affecting the both of you, you not only get to show up as the healer and the nurturer and the compassion and the understanding that you are, you also, quote unquote, like, heal yourself. Do you understand that? And I think that even with empaths, you have a deeper understanding of the knowing of we are one. You have a deeper understanding of the connection between yourself and everything else. So being able to heal both ends, yourself and the other, it just creates this picture of half and half and whole. So you being able to heal yourself through healing someone else, it's what creates the empath. So, like I said in the beginning, it is very crucial for you to pick up habits, daily habits. You don't want to call it rituals, call it habits. Pick up daily habits that are going to allow you to slip right back into your essence and to create that discernment between yourself and the energy in the environment, between yourself and the energy within the person that you're connected to, within yourself and the energy that you put into the world versus the energy that is being thrown at you. So cleansing, and to be fair, you know what, I don't like really telling people what to do but not how to do it. So you kind of have to discern within yourself what is going to make you feel protected, whether that's physical things or affirmations or whatever. You have to discern what's going to make you feel protected, make you feel safe, and make you feel clean energy wise. So I can't tell you how to do that. But what I will say is it's a feeling. you have to, which is the other side of it, you have to tap into your own essence. When you learn to sit with yourself and you spend a lot of time to yourself, you know what I mean? Like when you're home alone and you feel at peace and safe and uninterrupted, depending on how you are, you feel giddy, you feel light, you feel joyous like a child. Or if you are literally someone who is just really grounded and chill, your true essence of who you are, you need to really get a full grasp on that. And then from there, you need to do any and everything within daily habits that help you to sit back in that essence. So, for example, that feeling that you get when you're home alone, liberated, joyous, happy. Oh my God, I feel like energetically, I feel like my aura just spreads out because I'm by myself, because it's just me and it's safe. So, that feeling, you need to find that in things that you do daily. So, if it means, lighting some incense and turning on music that is suitable for you and your soul and that really brings you to life, that stretches that aura and makes that aura feel safe to be big and whole and take up space, that's what you do. If it's not that, if it means you doing, a 20-minute hit exercise every morning and that stretches your aura and makes you feel energized and joyous, then you do it. But we really need to bring more awareness around those times where we are just centered with self. And it's literally just that connection with you and God. Because when you are just you and you are being that, when you are being the fullness of you and you are allowing and bringing that safety to be an expansive version of you, that is the feeling of God. That is God. Like you are bringing the God within you, that little speck of God. Guys, it's been a lot of distractions lately. My phone just ran out of storage right as we were getting into the God part of things. Trust me, is energies around right now that are really distracting and really discouraging and just really trying to knock everybody off their path. But we are here. We are stepping into a new world, a new earth, and the darkness is coming to light. The script is being flipped, and it's energies right now that's not wanting that. I've had no problem with my storage so far, or at least on my Samsung. My iPhone's always run out of storage, but this is my Samsung, and I haven't had a problem so far. So anyway, the message is going to be delivered regardless. Let's go. So what I was saying was, it's bringing that the God essence to the surface. It's bringing it to the surface, and that feeling right there, it needs to be embodied as much as possible. The whole objective with this is leaning into other videos that I've made as well, but it's the whole objective is so that as long as you are centered in that, is that it you know exactly, you don't know exactly, I'm not trying to say that you know exactly where you're going, but you know that where you're going is for your highest good, because you're bringing that awareness and you build the muscle of that awareness so it's strong, and you feel the strength in that centeredness, in that God essence within you, so that anything outside of you, it it creates an unshakable soul. It creates an unshakable experience, like nothing else that happens and anybody else's emotions as an empath, where you naturally are like a sponge and you feel, you get to discern and decide what you take on and what you don't, and what you don't, and strong on the what you don't, because when you really lean into the center of who you are and you know who the fuck you are and you know your power and you realize everything that has just been energy leaks where you have just been allowing your energy and your attention and your time to go, the three most valuable things within your life. When you notice that, you start to call it back, and it feeds that power. And then you're able to recognize what to trust, who to trust. You're able to recognize whether this is, for the empath, an opportunity to heal, whether you are stepping forward and doing something that God is calling you to do, which is to heal, to feel, to heal, to be compassionate, to understand, to hold space for these people, to be the healer, your opportunity to be the healer and the nurturer. Or is this you just with your energy wide open and not being discerned? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm an empath myself. I completely understand you. And I just want you to know that I see you, because sometimes the things that you find the hardest to discern against, the people especially that you find the hardest to discern against, are the very people who are within your bloodline, or they are people who you deem as very important in this journey. And I understand how hard it is to feel very attached to that, to feel very attached to something and feel like it's going against an old part of you, to decide to say no and to discern, to discern with it, to question it, whether it's yours or not, to take on that responsibility. I understand that it's hard not to, but I've been there. And every single time that I've had to say no, it's one part of me that feels shame, but then it's this new part of me, this new birthing of me that feels so courageous and so empowered. And it's kind of like saying no returns me back to my center, because I am being true to my center. I am being true to myself, and myself is telling me no. Myself is telling me sometimes you have to allow people to heal themselves. And that's one thing I'll say as well, empaths, is that we have this thing where it's kind of like it's a subconscious sense of control, feeling like we're able to actually go out and heal the world. It's it's not on purpose. It's just like we feel like we can handle it better. We feel like we can handle those big, horrible emotions better because we've been there many times, probably possibly more than the time that if you think of one person going through a situation, you're thinking, oh, I can handle it. I can handle it. They're going through a rough time right now, but I can handle it. I can carry some of that weight for them. But what did I tell you? We are going to get this message out. So, what was I saying? Yes, when it comes to the control of the empath, you feel like it's more in control because you feel like you can handle it better. We need to release that control, because sometimes us trying to take on emotions and problems from other people because we want to lighten their load is actually compromising their learning, their lessons in life. They have their own path and their own shit that they need to learn. So you're either compromising it or you're slowing it down. Because regardless, either way, they're going to learn the lesson. So just because you are standing in front of the pain like the hero, trying to save them from feeling so horrible, because you felt that horrible before. So you know what it feels like. And because you're understanding and compassionate, you want to help others avoid the impact of such a hard trial and tribulation to go through. But sometimes you have to let go. You have to let go. And like I said, you have to discern between your own energy and theirs, and discern between whether it is your God-given right to step in, or whether you need to pull your energy back. One, so that they don't bleed on you, and two, so that you allow them to carry on with learning the lessons that are being set out for them. This was a very easy flowing message from myself, but my phone is just, it wasn't letting me say what I need to say. And that's okay. Because if you're seeing this, and I'm going to make sure you see this, if you're seeing this, we are we are flowing with God. We are trusting. We are trusting ourselves. And we are not going to allow anything or anyone get in the way of us reclaiming who we are, get in the way of us living out our purpose and holding this light while we're spreading the light as well. I love y'all. That is the end of the message. That was a lot deeper than the first one. I think the first one was just kind of like word of advice, but no, this explained it a lot. And I also feel like me using my voice to express this also helped it to plant deeper into my being, into my mind, to really understand the responsibilities that I've been taking on as an empath myself. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves until then.